Hello everyone, my name is Joel and I am pursuing Artificial Intelligence and Data Science in Vishnu Institute of Technology. Today I am going to explain some key topics in JavaScript. Those are objects, functions, the difference between var, let, const keywords, and modules in JavaScript. Let us start with the objects in JavaScript. Explain objects in JavaScript. What are objects in JavaScript? Objects in JavaScript are collections of key value pairs. Keys are strings or symbols. Now let us see the creating, accessing and manipulating objects. We create the object in this manner. We use the keyword like let and where, and then we give the object name, and then we use the assignment of operator equal to, and we open and close the curly braces. And within the curly braces, we give the key value pairs. Here name, age, greet are the attributes, and Elise 25 and the function is are the values. We can access these properties by using the dot operator. As we can see here in the console log, we have used the dot operator. First, we have to mention the object name and then use the dot operator and the attribute name, which gives the output accordingly. We can also manipulate the properties by using the same syntax, which is starting with the object name and then dot operator and the uh, attribute name. Here we have changed from age from 25 to 26, and we have added a new attribute called country with a value of USA. If there is a country attribute before, it will be changed or updated, but if it is not available, then it will be added to the object. Some of the key features of the objects are we can have the nested objects, that is an object within another object. For example, here we have the company object which have attributes name, address, and which in turn have address object which have attributes city, zip. And another feature is methods. Methods are functions defined within objects. For example, here we have a greet method in the person object which greets hello and followed by name. Now let us see about the functions in JavaScript. Explain functions in JavaScript. What are the functions and why they are important? The functions are reusable blocks of code designed to perform a specific task. They promote modularity and code reuse. The ways to declare functions are function declaration is like this. First, we use a keyword function and then we give the function name and then we mention the parameters within the brackets and then we open curly braces and then we define the function. For example, we have add function here which adds two parameters a and b and returns its result. We have checked with we have verified it with by passing two three values which give it their sum 2 plus 3 which is 5, and we have something called function expression. The JavaScript function expression is used to define a function inside any expression. The function expression allows us to create an anonymous function that does not have any function name, which is the main difference between function expression and function declaration. The function expression can be used as an IIFE, which means immediately invoked function expression, which runs as soon as it is defined. A function expression has to be stored in a variable and can be accessed using variable names. For example, the syntax of the function expression is we start with the keywords like let or where and followed by the variable name and followed by the assignment operator equal to and then function keyword and then parameters list in the brackets and followed by the curly braces which have the function definition. We verified it with the values 5 3 5 minus 3 2 will be printed in the console. Arrow function. An arrow function is essentially an anonymous function with a shorter syntax. They are often assigned to variables, making them reusable. The syntax of the arrow function is to start with the keywords like let or where or const and followed by the variable name and followed by the assignment operator and then parameter lists without any function keyword and then followed by the arrow function which is the equal to followed by the angular brace, and afterwards we have the function definition. We verified it with the 2 comma 3 values 23 6 will be printed in the console. Concept of this: in the regular function, this refers to the object that calls the function. For example, let us consider a object called car which have brand Toyota and then show brand attribute consists of a function as a value. And in the function definition, if we want to print the brand value of the this this object itself, then we use this keyword. The syntax is this followed by dot operator and then attribute name. And we access the method by using the object name. We get the output as Toyota. Arrow function. In the case of arrow function, this is inherited from the surrounding scope. If we consider an example bike which have the attribute brand and value Yamaha and then attribute show brand which have the value as function, and in this we have this keyword in the console accessing the brand name, but it is undefined in this context because this is inherited from the surrounding scope. Let us see the difference between where, let, and constant keywords. where where is a function scope and it can be redeclared and is hosted with undefined. For example, if we print x to the console which is undefined, after we can use the var keyword and then use any variable to assign a value. Let is a block scope and cannot be redeclared and is hoisted but not initialized. That's why we have reference error when we print y here. Const is block scope and cannot be reassigned. Const is block scope cannot be reassigned and must be initialized during declaration. That's why after you have declared z as 15 which is constant, so that's why it cannot be updated as 20 and which in turn gives the type error. Now let us see the scoping and hoisting with an example. In the example we have a function called test which have a if block which is which have a if block with the condition true, so it definitely gets executed. In that we have a where a is equal to 10, let b is equal to 20, const c is equal to 30, and the block is closed here. And if we print the abc values to the console, we only get the a value and b, c are not printed, and then and in turn we get the reference error for b and c variables because b and c are block scope. That is, they cannot be printed. They that is, they are not accessed outside the block. For example, to solve this problem, we define ABC with the var let const keywords respectively in the function test, and then we print those values within the same function. Then all the values get displayed as they are within the same function. And let b const c also gets printed because they are not being printed outside the block. Now let us see the modules in JavaScript. What are JavaScript modules and what is the importance of modules? And demonstrate the use of import and export. Modules help to structure and organize code by splitting it into reusable files. Modern JavaScript uses ES6 modules for this purpose. Exporting. You can export variables, functions, or classes from one file. For example, let us consider there is a file called math.js. In named exports, we use the syntax starting with the export keyword and then the return and then the const keyword and followed by the variable and followed by the variable name and the parameter list and the definition of the function, which is followed by the arrow function. In case of default export, we start with the const keyword and then variable name and the function definition, and then followed by it we have the export default multiply, that is export keyword and then default keyword and the variable name. Importing, you can import these exports in another file, that is we have here the main.js file. In the case of import named exports, we have the syntax, which is import followed by curly braces and then the classes names, which are add and subtract, and followed by the from keyword and then the file name. The file name is followed by the dot and a slash, which is in the quotes. So we can use now the add and subtract methods. In the case of import default export, we have the syntax import keyword, variable name, followed by from keyword, followed by the file name within the quotes, and then the file name is followed by the dot and the slash. Now we can use the multiply method also. In the case of import everything, which is optional, we can import everything by using the asterisk. The syntax is like this. We start with the import keyword and then we use the asterisk, and then we have the as keyword, the file, we can use a variable name and followed by the from keyword and then the file name. Now we can use the methods by referencing it with the variable name. Thank you.